Hi everyone. Welcome to our capstone project for the Wilsonian FIU data visualization task. My name is David Ulloa.
My name is Atruba Wes.
My name is Fer Pacheco.
And my name is Tatiana Rodriguez. So the purpose of this project is to make the Wilsonian FIU Museum collection more accessible, engaging, and discoverable. This application that we were tasked to develop transforms raw collection data into visual insights and enables students and the public to explore cultural artifacts in meaningful and user-friendly ways. The current digital Wilsonian FIU collection is currently static and allows for limited user interaction in data insights. Users can currently explore the collection by typing in keywords and filtering by year, location, etc., but it is still very limited. Visual patterns like timelines or geographic trends are not easily discoverable, and the current interface is not optimized for interactive or mobile use. This is what our application aimed to improve.
For the project requirements, we had to complete first of all a part on the data on the backend. We had to mainly clean up data, work with a big data set. I believe it was about 100,000 or more data points. Before we even delved into the UI, the project required us to do the cleaning, the exploratory data analysis to examine which ones were the most relevant data points to use to display in our dashboard, and also ensure that the necessary columns were present and clean so that the data displayed properly. At the end, after the cleanup process on the back end, we had to remove any complete entries before we decided to do a UI to display all of this information and be able to visualize all of the data from the Wilsonian. At the end of the day, this is how we structured our project. The system architecture includes three layers. A data layer, which is the clean JSON CSV data that we got from the Wilsonian. We'll delve more into how we cleaned up the data itself with these later slides. We also have the logic layer, which is a JavaScript functions for filtering, sorting, and searching through the data. Because while the CSV data itself was cleaned up through us, we still had to do some type of data manipulation in order to be able to visualize it properly. And then there's the UI layer, which is just a Next.js based dashboard with dynamic and responsive components to visualize through bar charts and pie charts.
Okay, and for our object design, our app, we used a modular layout with reusable React components, which included charts, filters, and cards. And they update live with the user input, and it's responsive on all devices and deployed on Vercel for fast and hassle-free access. And for our implementation, we built the app with React, Next.js, and Tailwind CSS, and the charts are powered by recharts and custom components. And the data was cleaned using Pandas, and the app is live on Vercel for fast serverless access. And this is the link to the live site.
For a lot of our kind of, building, we don't have a huge expertise in like art history. So a lot of our work was making sure and talking with the Wilsonian staff to see, if we're building everything correctly, features that would be useful for people with experience in art history or interested in that, and if it's their use cases from a technical perspective. So if it's consistent design-wise with their website, responsive among devices that they would use, these kind of details that we went back and forth with the Sonian staff to make sure everything was okay. And in summary, there's a lot of improvements and applications for our website. It's meant to be a proof of concept so that people, the Wilsonian Museum, could see it as being possible to implement in a more permanent way in the future, especially with the integration with their larger database, not just the CSV provided to us. And in general, it's also a technical proof of concept, not just like a UX one, where could this data be represented in an interesting way, and how to do it technically using, like we mentioned, React, Next.js, and Pandas. here are some of our references and the tech stack we use. And again, thank you so much for all the support, especially to Dr. Finlayson, Mark, and Andreas, who helped us through the whole process, really making sure that we were supported and knew everything we were working on. It was an absolute blast, and thank you again.
Thank you.